Forza Kochi to Calicut FC, and now is the guardian of the goal for Calicut. He is facing his former side, and history says Forza Kochi have never gotten the better of Calicut, but all they're looking forward to right now is the future. Calicut, they would be looking to defend the title. We are underway with proceedings in the opening fixture of Season 2 Super League Kerala. Calicut FC in blue, attacking from left to right of your screen. Forza Kochi in their away whites from right to left.
Forza Kochi, nice and easy, just moving the ball around. It's good for us to see as well how these boys settle down in their shape, in their structure with each other. It looks like a back four for Forza Kochi, which we were told before the game. Whereas Calicut FC are trying to kind of find that press, their home team. It's going to be the onus on them to kind of attack and take the game to Forza Kochi, as they did last season in all the three encounters. They outplayed Forza Kochi in all the three encounters, which led to them not losing.
Yeah, not the best of touches from Nijo, but just after that, some beautiful footwork from Salim on the overlap. And it was Mohammad Mushraf rather, the under-23 recruit for Forza Kochi. The two fullbacks, interestingly, Freud, both of them are under-23s. Does that affect Forza Kochi in either a good or a bad way?
I don't think so. I think that gives you more energy, that gives you more enthusiasm on the line, that gives you a little bit more creativity. If you look now, they're kind of a 4-4-2, that it's not a back five as we were told pre-game. So as the game settles down, they kind of have to react and settle in that shape. What's interesting to see is that Asif is playing as a right back and Prashant is playing as a right wing. Asif himself is a very creative player. He's a player who loves beating players 1v1. So if they too can get clicking on that right wing, it's going to be a lot of problems for Forza Kochi.
The two names you mentioned, Asif has been a part of Inter Kashi as well as Mumbai City in the past. It brings a lot of hope with him. And of course you can hear those roars in between. It is a packed house here at the EMS Corporation Stadium, Kochi. And every time you see the home side moving forward, or maybe putting in a defensive contribution, you'll hear that roar get louder.
Yeah, that duel we just saw on screen, Mohammad Arshaf against Rashid, is going to be such a good encounter to watch. Can Arshaf, the best defensive player and the best under-23 player last season, keep hold of what I would say the most creative player in that Forza Kochi team in Rashid? When he gets the ball, he's looking to assist his forwards. He's looking to get his team into the attacking third. And if he can be shut down, there's a big attacking weapon of Forza Kochi that's going to be subdued during the game.
Nice little pass through there from Vijon, but it was intervened, and now on the counter, Captain Prashant can make a run through, but he had to beat the likes of Iker Moreno, the big solid centre-back that Forza Kochi have got in. He's 24-year-old. He's played for UE Ruby, the likes of UE Sands as well.
Yeah, straight away you see there Calicut FC not trying to pass the ball around, trying to get the ball quickly ahead. And you saw Prashant with his pace, and you saw Ramon Garcia there with his experience. Who's going to win tonight?
Trying to turn inside the box was Sebastian Rincon. A big body, number 9 up front for Calicut. 31-year-old Colombian. He's played for Club Atletico El Dosive.
It's a clear 4-4-2 there from Calicut. Two strikers up front, a good bank of 4 in midfield, a good bank of 4 in defense. And this is how they played last season. You know, when we look back at last season, they were in a 4-3-3, and it was kind of, you know, they had the handbrakes on. But as soon as they went into that two strikers up front, they looked a different side. They looked so attacking. It made the opposition adjust to them. And that's what they're doing right now. When you have two strikers up front, you can combine like this and create a problem for the opposition.
Well, that was excellent work there by Sebastian Rincon to just hold a play and with outside of the boot try and find Mohammad Atsal, another of those under-23s. Salim with the throw. One of the prospects we have talked about in the last couple of years in Indian football. Oh, almost a spill there by Rafiq Ali Sardar, thankfully. Not to happen so early in the league. is Mushraf. The Calicut fans will be having one eye on their head coach, Ever Temalde, as well. A 38-year-old UEFA Pro license holder. Had been a part of the Marseille setup back in time, 2014-15, was the assistant manager.
Yeah, he brings in a lot of experience. He brings in a lot of calmness. That's what they require at the moment. And if you look at the game right now, even though it's just the first few minutes of the game, you see Calicut FC are a little bit more in control of what's going on. They know when to initiate the press. They know when to kind of hold back, and that's what Riaz brings in as well. That tenacity, and you need such a tackle just to get yourself going in the game. And it looks like Calicut FC have got themselves going so far. Forza Kochi are still searching for solutions, trying to find that combination, trying to find that pass that breaks lines. So far they haven't been able to do so.
Looks to be in some trouble there, Nijo. Where we just had a glimpse of the man in charge of Forza Kochi, Micheliado, or Michiado as he is lovingly called. Will he get that love here in Kerala? Only time will say. He's been in Indian football since a while now, inside the roots of Indian football. He's worked with South United in Bengaluru before coming here. Nijo Gilbert is an important part of Forza Kochi. He's captained the side last year, and this is the man we were talking about, Micheliado.
Yeah, we have two young coaches on the bench, 38 and 36 years old respectively, with a lot of youth on their side when it comes to coaching. And when you have young coaches in the system, they always look to experiment. They're open to new ideas, and hopefully that's going to show in both the teams playing this season.
Prashant was looking to play it safe, but that safety has turned out to be something that might backfire. Taking his time there, Mohammad Mushraf. We've seen the run from Rashid, and thankfully blocked out there, and a pretty solid block by a tracking back Mohammad Asif. But then again, you have to keep an eye on the Forza Kochi captain, Rashid. The 32-year-old Frenchman is played for Al Ahly as well. And now Calicut come on attack from the left. The defenses have been solid so far.
Sebastian did really well there to hold up the play. He just didn't have any support for him up front. And I think that was a kind of 50-50 foul on him up there, but he needs to do better and keep that ball there for support coming in. One thing that you notice, Sousa is closely following Douglas wherever he goes, and that creates a lot of gap in the center of the Calicut defense. Can the likes of Nijo Gilbert, can the likes of Sriraj, can the likes of Rashid exploit that space? Because one thing that we know is Sousa is not going to give Douglas any time and space. But if Douglas is intelligent enough, and we've seen that in Indian football in his time as Shillong Lajong, he can pull players out of position, but you need the players around him to utilize that space.
If he gets the support, he can get you the goals. That is why he is in that number 9 position, Douglas Rosataden. It is a throw-in for Forza Kochi. Momentum in favour of the away side at the moment. Arjun with the throw. Somewhat pacing their play on counters at the moment, is it, from Ever Temalde?
No, I think it's pretty normal for a coach to start out pretty safe. They are in a good 4-4-2 block. They know when to come out of that shape and press the players that are concerned. So I think they are well drilled. From what it looks right now, is Calicut FC know what they are doing. It's just that when do they need to switch gears? When are they going to switch gears and take the game to another level so that they can put even more pressure on the Forza Kochi defense? At the moment, they are very comfortable. They are at home. But as the score remains 0-0, and as that time clock keeps ticking, the pressure is going to be on Calicut FC to get more chances and eventually goals.
Almost as if waiting for mistakes from their opponents and then try to capitalize on it. It's done well so far, young Mushraf, the left full back for Forza Kochi. But yes, again, interesting strategy. As you mentioned, that it might be a part of the plan to start slow and then change gears gradually from this man and his side. Too early to ask that question. But you mentioned how there has been a revamp in Calicut FC. Now they're missing quite a few players like Gunny Nigam.
They're missing Gunny Nigam, arguably the best Indian player in the SLK Season 1. They're missing Abdul Haku at right back. Their goalkeeper has gone to the opposite team. So there's a lot of personnel that has changed in their team right now. But the likes of Salim on the ball, the likes of Mohammad Riaz on the ball, these are the guys who know exactly what it means to play for Calicut FC. And they stepped up last season. They would have been asking themselves, can I get a little bit more opportunity this year? And both of them on the starting lineup. Mohammad Riaz, he's a bomber. He goes up and down the pitch, he scores goals, he tackles, he intercepts, and he does really well. So this is an opportunity for him to kind of show the coach that he deserves to be in that starting 11.
And the first touch a bit heavy, but just a moment ago we saw that control from Mohammad Ashraf in the midfield, gradually coming out of his shell. That is what Calicut FC would want. He had been signed by Northeast United, back on a loan stint here with Calicut. And you know, that is a sign of a player doing well when big clubs, big names are around you. Ajin from the right. Oh, beautiful control. Once again, can they get the exchange wide? Sebastian Rinken taken a bit wide. Had Prashant in support. Rinken lays it off for Salim. Can he get past the defenders? Is it a penalty? Oh, yes it is. And the roar of the crowd says it all. It is in favour of the home side. And a chance to go one up straight away in the first quarter of the game.
And we were talking about that, you know, this is Mohammad Riaz again. Again, he's involved in a goal. He's such a dynamic player, you know, when he gets the ball, all that he's thinking about, can I get to goal? Can I get across? Can I take people on? He gets a touch on the ball, and that's rash. That's rash from the number 22, Ajin. A young player for Fosa Kochi, you know, getting robbed by the opportunity and making a rash tackle inside the box. But credit to Mohammad Riaz, he wanted to go into the box. He wanted to get on 1v1. He wanted to try and, you know, attract the defender, and he's won a penalty for his team.
Well, a pretty experienced officiating panel here. Today's match referee Venkatesh R with assistants P. Vairamuthu and P. Muralitharan. Fourth official for today's game is Ajay Krishnan. But it is a chance to go one up for Calicut FC. It is Sebastian Rinken standing on it. All about nerves. The home crowd backing him, but sometimes that can turn into pressure. His first flavour of Indian football. And he has a chance to become a hero for all those home fans around. And what is this man all about? Will show up in the next few seconds as he steps up to take possibly what might be the first goal of the season. And Rinken! He's here to get the goals and set the trend in the Super League Kerala. 1-0 for the home side, Calicut up and running.
Calicut FC means goals. Calicut FC means attacking football. They've picked up from where they left last season. Be it Kervins Belfort, be it Kennedy, be it any other player, Gunny Nigam, they produce another player who scores a goal for them. It's not easy stepping up on the penalty spot and taking that penalty kick. Sebastian sets up, takes that, puts Calicut FC 1-0. To be honest, they deserve that lead. Of both the teams so far, they look like the team that knows what they are doing. They know when to press, they know when to sit back, they know when to combine, and give a credit to Mohammad Riaz there. Mohammad Riaz was the player who took a chance, dribbled into the box, got the tackle inside the box, and won that penalty. So credit to him. He stepped up already in the first game of the season.
Absolutely, he's playing on the flanks, and that is the best part about Riaz. We were discussing in the previous season as well. He can play as a fullback, he can go up and join the wings in attack. And well, talking about setting the trend and trends, the trend says Forza Kochi have never been able to get the better of Calicut FC so far in their short time. But Nijo Gilbert can change that. The cross with the left blocked off for the first corner for Forza Kochi.
The first corner for Forza Kochi, and it comes with Asif stepping up. A classic right winger playing as a right back. It's not natural for a player or winger to play at right back, and you do that kind of thing. If you give Nijo a little bit of time, he's going to create a lot of damage on that wing and crosses into the box.
It is him who will take it. Nijo Gilbert can take set pieces with both right and left. That's been a speciality for Nijo. Can he deliver when it's required? Looking for the exchange, Nijo, but the flag has gone up clearly. And such a waste of a set piece.
It's another example, Vaswar, of Forza Kochi just not being there at the races so far. You know, they look a little bit tentative. They're looking at each other as to what to do. They played that short corner, but they were nowhere convincing enough to know what's going to happen eventually. And eventually it was offside. You see that goal there again from Sebastian. Calm, cool, collected, placing the ball to the left of the goalkeeper, Mohammad Rafi Ali Sardar. No chance for him in goal.
And they have a few more of those in their locker room who are yet to join the side. A number of foreigners recruited by Calicut FC, 7 of them to be precise. 4 available tonight. A little back flick, but that was read well by Iker Moreno.
You know, Calicut FC have so many attacking players on the pitch. You know, you have Mohammad Riaz on the left, you have Prashant on the right. They've not been able to release Prashant so far. He's made a couple of good runs, but they're trying to play the ball into his feet. Prashant is a player who needs the ball into space, and when he's at full speed, it's very rarely that he doesn't beat a player 1v1, and that's going to be another area of attack for Calicut FC. So, you know, they just need to, if they get Prashant in the game, it's going to be attack on both wings, and Forza Kochi are going to be in a lot of problems.
Add on, the player of Boasso hasn't been involved as such so far in attacking, but when he does get involved, it might be trouble. And you can see the touches right now. It says a story of pressure being built, and that is why they've gifted a throw-in.
You know, when you have creativity, when you have intensity, when you have movement all around you, you need that calm in center of midfield. Mohammad Ashraf is the destroyer, and I think Boasso is that calm in midfield for Calicut FC. He's not doing too much of the running, but he's making the others run. He's covering up for the others when they lose that ball. So you need that. That's why I said they look a balanced side. It's like as they left off from last season. You know, they've changed personnel, they've changed coach, but the philosophy and the way Calicut FC play hasn't changed a bit.
Here is Boasso, the calm before the storm, as you mentioned him as Prashant, given responsibility to captain the side tonight, or maybe more on from now.
I think Prashant was just looking at Asif to make an overlapping run there. So both of them in fact trying to get that combination going on the right wing, and that's just born out of frustration. Prashant has not just got, he's been a little bit frustrated, not been able to get in the game, not been able to get the ball in the areas that he wants, and tackles like this just show that, you know, you kind of need to keep your calm. You're the captain of the team. You don't need to give Forza Kochi an unnecessary free kick in a position where they can hurt you.
Yeah, he's just won the I-League with Takashi. He's got the experience, and now he's back home leading his side, Calicut. And he's one of the Calicut locals out here, so he has the crowd backing as well. But he has gifted away a free kick. It is Rashid to take it, floats it towards the far side. A cut back for Nijo Gilbert, takes a touch to his left foot. The setup was good, but couldn't keep it on target.
And these are the kind of half chances that the opposition requires, just to get that little bit of confidence, a foothold into the game, and then it could all change. When I was Googling about Rashid Atmane, one thing that struck me out is assists. The guy can put a needed. And if that happens, and you get second balls like this, leaving Nijo Gilbert alone on top of the box, he should have hit it first time on his right foot, but he chose to go on his left, and it was the wrong decision in the end. But that's half a chance of Forza Kochi coming from a needless foul by Prashant.
But on the other side of it, it was a smart move as well from Nijo just to try and deceive the defender.
It's classic that everybody gets attracted to the ball, and you just need that half a chance on top of the box, but you need to keep that shot on target.
And they've won it back again. Calicut looking menacing at the moment. Another block in the way. It is getting entertaining every second. Once this side, once that side, you cannot take your eyes off. The Super League Kerala just about beginning here. Rashid, and that is a beautiful little pass through towards Douglas Stardin. Has support Nijo, a bag full of tricks in him. And now Mushraf taking his time. One youngster with the mistake, another youngster looking to cover up for it.
You know, that's what half a chance does to you. Forza Kochi just have a little spring in their step. Players are moving instead of standing still. Douglas now running past Sosa rather than coming down to receive the ball. You know, and just before that, a player like Adsal needs to connect well with Sebastian, with Mohammad Riaz, with Prashant around him. He needs to be a little bit careful with his pass, because if he can connect well, they can create more chances. All of a sudden, the game has got a little bit more, you know, you go, I go, you go, I go. Calicut FC have to get back, just pass the ball around, slow the game down. They have the 1-0 lead. Get Forza Kochi out of that, you know, out of their own half, and then they'll get the chance.
And just to add on and highlight a little tweak in the formation we were expecting, not in the formation but the personnels, it is that Asif is playing as a right full back, while Mohammad Riaz, who was expected to be there, is playing as a left winger, and in the midfield with Ashraf and Adsal, it is Federico Boasso.
It's a classic 4-4-2. It's the easiest formation to play. It's the most balanced formation to play. So if everyone knows their role, Calicut FC won't have too many problems. It's when they drag players out of position, those spaces need to be filled well, and so far Forza Kochi aren't doing anything to exploit the spaces that have been left by the two banks of four of Calicut FC.
Iker Moreno to Rashid Ait Atman, trying to build up from the midfield, always under pressure once they enter that final third. Nijo just moving around with, driving central at times, leaving his marker empty.
Just as Nijo received that ball, you saw Sosa coming out of the defense, and you had, you know, Rashid make a good run, or Ramon Garcia make a good run, but Rashid just didn't play that ball. That was the pass that was needed for Ramon Garcia. He made a lovely run in the space that Sosa vacated.
And that was neither the best of touches, neither the best of passes after that. And now Salim can create something down that left channel, but all he can provide is a throw in for Forza Kochi. He was injured last season midway through. Is he back to full glaze yet? That is what we'll have to find out. But Nijo Gilbert, he is looking fine and slick, moving through. Douglas Stardin, advantage allowed initially, but called back for a free kick. Good refereeing there.
That's what Forza Kochi need, you know. Nijo Gilbert was one player last season who they looked to create something out of nothing. He's a left winger. He's gone into midfield. He's taken the ball off his defensive midfielder and drive past three Calicut FC players. That's the desire that Forza Kochi need right now. But they need it more, not just from Nijo Gilbert. They need it from Sriraj on the right wing. They need it from Gifty. They need it from Rashid Atmane. As of now, they're not getting it. But Nijo trying his level best, what he did last season as well. Get past players, get the contact, get a foul in a good position. And the last time they gave a cheap foul, Nijo Gilbert had a free shot on top of the box. Can it be the same again?
Well, who knows, they might go directly from here as well. It is of course a long way out, but Nijo Gilbert has all those qualities needed to surprise anyone watching the game. Nijo perhaps was looking for goal, straight at the wall. And once again Nijo trying to chip it forward. He's been the creator-in-chief last season. And Prashant, can they go on the counter? Calicut, a lot of open space. The pass might have been a bit heavy. Still with Prashant, down the right, chips it towards the centre. But before danger came on Rafiq Ali Sardar, it was cleared away by Rijon Jose.
Playing to the strong points of Prashant, put the ball into space, make him run. And that cross in the end was just a little bit less. It needed a little bit of more guile, a little bit of more finesse to it to find Riaz, I think that was at the second post. But again, Nijo Gilbert being a little bit too ambitious. Can he score now?
Can he provide now rather than Nijo Gilbert? Did look to provide another chance, and this time it's towards goal. Off the post it is. Still in the box, Douglas Tardin. A little rusty control. Tardin with a shot. It was on target, I believe, but it was stopped by Hajmal.
Forza Kochi are getting better and better now. They've decided, I think, it's enough of us wasting time playing sideways passes. We need to test the goalkeeper. We need to take players on. It's Douglas, it's Nijo Gilbert. As we look at this now, long ball again for Atsal.
Oh, Atsal. That body check just forced him to move wide, and now Prashant turning his man around, looking for options. They've earned a throw-in. But that one goal lead has certainly helped Calicut, because right now, Forza Kochi, they're coming very aggressively at Calicut, and that one goal advantage in their mind has really given them a space to breathe.
I think Calicut FC won't mind that, because they have the attacking players in the team. They have the quick players like Riaz and Prashant on the wing. They have Atsal and Sebastian up front. So the more Forza Kochi come at them, they're going to create a lot of overloads in attack, or even number attacks where they can get one-on-one and create those chances and eventually get that second goal. But the game's opening up for the good. Forza Kochi need to be more progressive, which they are right now. They need to get the ball quicker into the guys, into the likes of Nijo Gilbert, into the likes of Sriraj needs to get into the game. Douglas is doing well up front. Ramon Garcia getting the ball there. So we are seeing players getting out of position. They know that to break that rigid 4-4-2 of Calicut FC, they need to move. If they're going to stay in static positions, they're not going to be able to, kind of get the better of this Calicut FC, well-organized Calicut FC side.
And I wish I could show you the entire view of the stands. It's jam-packed out here. The crowd is here to certainly accept nothing but 3 full points. Rafiq Ali Sardar clears it. And the offside flag is up against Sriraj. But I think I would love to see Gifty Gracious getting more involved. He's been pretty silent in the midfield. Maybe the role which he has been given is more aggressive in nature than the role he has been deployed to play.
We'll get back to Gifty Gracious, but you mentioned the crowd. It's a full house here. It's a full house, and you could hear them firing on all cylinders when Calicut FC scored 1-0. But at the moment, you could hear a pin drop because they're nervous. They know that Forza Kochi have got back in the game. They know that Calicut FC have yet to gain control of the game, and they're waiting for Calicut FC to do something of significance to get back and support their team. And one thing that they can do is cheer louder, cheer their team on, and get them to play in the Forza Kochi half rather than their own.
And Asif has got a free kick because of that pull from Mushraf. But I think one question which I asked you a while ago, if the two under-23s playing as fullbacks will put Forza Kochi in a bit of pressure, I think the answer is coming out to be clearer gradually.
It did, because Ajin was the one who gave away the penalty, a rash challenge on Mohammad Riaz inside the box. Mohammad Mushraf has been so far, very steady at left back. He hasn't done that great so far, but he hasn't done that bad as well. He's having a steady game. But you saw Asif there. Asif's not a right back. Asif's a right winger, and he has the beating of a 1v1 player. So the more he does that, it's a risky thing to do as a right back. But the more he does that, he can create a load with Prashant on the right wing.
I think some of that credit goes to Antonio Lopez Habas, who used him as a wing back at times. But he'll be happy that he has got a new trait in his locker. We're talking about Mohammad Asif. Right now, possession for Forza Kochi. Rich on towards Douglas, who was dropped pretty deep.
And guess who's on his back? And guess who's on his back? Yeah, Sosa there, not allowing Douglas to turn all the way up there to the half line. Imagine the amount of space that the defense has right now. Now it's Richard on Douglas. So both the centre backs have decided that we are not going to let Douglas get any space.
Oh, almost that clever touch to move past the defender. He's been very intelligent so far with his gameplay, Sebastian Rincon. That is one thing we have seen whenever the ball comes to him, be it his body feints, be it the way he uses his physique. Been impressive.
Yeah, he looks a big unit, and you can see that he's going to be a handful for both the centre backs. But he's a kind of centre forward that likes the ball played on his feet, at his feet. Anything into space, like Prashant. Prashant maybe missed that pass by a meter, and Rincon's not going to get that.
And here comes Rashid from the right. Oh, that is a mistake from the defender. Douglas Tardin, can he finish? And that is excellent defending from the man you mentioned, who is not a natural defender, but has induced that trait in his locker. Mohammad Asif, well done.
Where he may not be a natural defender, but what Asif has got is youth on his side, and that youthfulness helped him to recover and help his teammate Sousa get that 2v1 and nick the ball just as Douglas was about to pull the trigger. You look at Douglas, he's set to pull that trigger, a little heavy touch, and that all that was required by Asif to get that ball and nick that ball off Douglas's feet.
No, but at the moment, Calicut FC, they're inviting pressure at times on them, just allowing Forza Kochi to drive through and create all those opportunities.
It's all Forza Kochi. It has been all Forza Kochi. And guess when? Ever since Prashant made that silly foul to give away that free kick, Forza Kochi had that chance with Nijo Gilbert taking a shot at goal from top of the box. And ever since then, they've grown more and more confident in the game, creating half chances, creating more overloads, dribbling past players, breaking lines of Calicut FC, getting fouls in important places like this. But the one thing that they haven't been able to do so far is test Hajmal on goal.
Or maybe now they can. There was a deflection. That will be a corner. But Rashid, that man almost heard you. He wanted to test Hajmal. But once he was tested, it was on target from Douglas Tardin. It was straight at his palm. And look at that. That is exactly what we were mentioning during the previous corner. Nijo Gilbert has the ability to take set pieces with both right and left. Added on weapon for Mikkel Yadav. Will be Nijo to deliver. This time with his left, floated towards the far side, a free header as well. Rijon avoided his marker but could not glide it goalwards.
Yeah, Rijon had a good run up. He got a good leap, but he just wasn't able to get that connection on the header. You needed to head that ball from where it came from into that corner, but he couldn't get as high. The ball flicked off his head and instead went off for a goal kick instead. But that's encouraging again. Rijon now would be eager to get into the next set piece and get his header on the ball, because he knows if he gets a good run up, there's a good chance that he's going to get ahead.
Now in that case, again too early to discuss, but Forza Kochi have got a lot of options on the bench. A couple of foreigners, the likes of Gino Van Kessel, available as well.
Now we are 33 minutes into the game right now, and it's been pretty even so far. Calicut FC got that goal courtesy a penalty from Sebastian after Mohammad Riaz was brought down in the penalty box by Ajin. But ever since then, it's been Forza Kochi who've been creating chances, half chances, shots on target, deflections, corner kicks, free kicks, but they haven't been able to get that decisive goal. So it's been a very exciting affair so far. And if you put your money where your mouth is, you'd say Forza Kochi is going to score the next goal, because they've been the team that has been more attacking. They've been the team that has had the ball more, and they are slowly but surely breaking those lines of Calicut FC and creating a lot of problems.
Well, Floyd, that is a free kick in a very dangerous area, and with the way they have taken attempts in the previous set pieces, this might be something they will look forward to.
So what's happening right now is, Ramon Garcia, Rachid, these two guys are getting the overload with Nijo Gilbert and Sriraj moving a little bit in. So it's getting a 3v2 with the likes of Mohammad Arshad and Ajsal in midfield. And when that overload happens, Ashraf has to come out of position and make a rash tackle. That's leading to free kicks in dangerous position. And with every free kick, they're getting closer to the goal.
Well, it is an opportunity, certainly, to get back in the game. The best keeper from last season has a test in front of him. It is a free kick, but there are takers who can turn this into a deadly encounter. Will it be the right of Nijo Gilbert? Will it be Ramon? It is Nijo Gilbert, tries to place it precisely, just up and over. But I believe Hajmal had it covered anyway.
They're getting closer. But to be honest, it's another shot off target. They need to test the goalkeeper from this range. They at least need to make Hajmal make a save, and that's not happening right now.
Well, the clock is ticking for Kochi. They'll not be too happy, because even after all those attacking pieces of play, the scoreline is tilted in favor of Calicut. The home fans will be delighted, but not too delighted as well, because even though they're on the lead, their team is under pressure. You do not know which side to be right now, to be happy actually.
Yeah, with almost 38 minutes gone on the clock, the thing that Calicut FC would want right now is go into the half-time with that lead intact. And then they can go in, settle down a bit, get a game plan on, and come back in the second half. And corners like these would help. They need to slow the game down a bit.
I think the midfield control is missing. Maybe if they can push Asif back to the midfield and try the combination between Ashraf, Asif and Atsal, that might be helpful. Of course, Rias can play a fullback in that case. But again, you do not want to tweak things when you're on the lead, on the charge, if not in terms of possession, but in terms of the scoreline, which is more important.
It's been a good half. It's been a good half for Ashwar. A half Calicut FC came out with a better plan in place. They looked the more settled side. They got the goal. But as soon as they got the goal, Kochi had to come out, and they've come out really well.
Asif has seen the run from Prashant, trying to curve it onto its path. Prashant, good tracking back by Mushraf.
You need more of that. Prashant needs more of that, because you just saw that when he's one-on-one with the left back, which is Mushraf, he's got the beating of pace. He's got the beating of pace even on Iker at centre back. So any ball down the wing, you can rest assured that Prashant is going to be first to it.
Another tussle this time, the decision in favor of Forza Kochi. Iker Moreno. Looking for options, sometimes long, sometimes short, but mostly towards Nijo when they move to the left, but now from the right. Sriraj. Haven't seen much of him, but all we have seen when the ball has gone to that side is Salim making a block and giving back possession to Calicut.
Maybe that'll be an area where Miguel Lado will be looking at on the right wing. You know, he'll need something more. Nijo is giving it from the left. Maybe someone off the bench to come on the right wing and create something different, maybe with pace, power, precision, crosses, something. And if we get that, you know, they can get a lot more attacks going.
But that is sloppy, Floyd. Once Sosa, once Richard Osei, they've attempted to clear it and not connected well, and both times called upon trouble. Now a corner for Forza Kochi. It is Nijo Gilbert again. The previous one was close. This one might be closer. The keeper has left his line. Another chance. And Rijon's shot blocked. That is living dangerously for Calicut FC.
Hajmal coming out and punching thin air. Whenever a goalkeeper calls for that and doesn't get anything on the ball, you're in trouble. And Calicut FC are lucky because Mohammad Ashraf just got something on the ball there to prevent Forza Kochi from touching the back of the net out there. And credit to him, it was Hajmal's mistake, but it was Mohammad Arshaf. And how many times have we seen it last season where Arshaf has come to the rescue of Calicut FC, be it in defence or on set pieces, keeping that lead intact.
That is just a reminder why he was the emerging player of the season. That is as good as a goal. It was an open chance to get back on level terms for Kochi, if not for Mohammad Arshaf. As good as a goal line save, you can say.
Exactly, he was the player that had the most tackles for an Indian player last season, and this block would be considered as a tackle. And how important is that block, keeping the lead for Calicut FC intact? What was Hajmal doing there? He came out, punched thin air. I think it was his own player that got a bit of a deflection, so there's miscommunication at the back.
Richan, twice now he's moved up and almost scored, and this time looking to provide for Nijo. The first touch, he tried to be clever with it, didn't come off well, but this first touch was exquisite from Sebastian Rink, and look at that again if possible. That was exquisite from the big man up front.
Rijon has done well. Whenever he's got the ball, he's played some good balls out of the defense. He split the Calicut FC midfield and defense line every time he's played that pass. First to Lijo, and the other time he played it into Roman Garcia and got that free kick.
Oh, but this is the man we're talking about, Sebastian Rinken. What a class act he has been so far. Even though in that little possession Calicut FC has got, we've seen very few moments of him. But whenever those moments have come, it's been absolutely delightful. Another free kick for Forza Kochi. 42 minutes played. Can they get back before half-time? Rashid floats it towards Ajmal. Another miss from the keeper. That was a risky but no-nonsense clearance from Federico Poasso.
Hajmal has not learned anything from the previous free kick. He had no business being there. He wasn't up to the flight of the ball. It was the defender all the time that's going to get that ball. He created another uncomfortable situation, not just for him and his coach as well.
And that is the best season of the previous keeper under pressure. And Nijo Gilbert, once again a chance. Douglas couldn't connect. And maybe Gifty can, even he cannot. Well, a moment of blunders combined, as Forza Kochi cannot get back yet. But they'll still try. And Nijo Gilbert floats it towards the far side again. It's far from anyone in white.
Good hold-up play there by Atsal, just taking the sting off the game. Forza Kochi will be asking themselves, how have they not scored in that melee? The first free kick, the second corner kick, a lot of second balls floating into the box. They just couldn't find that final touch, that final shot to put the ball in the back of the net. They're creating all the pressure right now. Calicut FC look like they're just defending their box. They aren't able to get out of their half. They aren't able to keep the ball in Forza Kochi's half, and that's a concern for Calicut FC. And the coach will have to kind of make a change maybe at halftime to get these boys going, to get some freshness onto the pitch so that they start the half
2 on the scoreline right now. 2 changes made in the second half to start the half from Calicut, and we are underway with another entertaining half to start off the Super League Kerala here in Kochi. It is the EMS Corporation Stadium. The sides changed for Kochi attacking from left to right in white, and Calicut in blue from right to left of the screen.
And already you can see the Calicut FC coach has gone a little bit different with the way he sets up. It's not a 4-4-2 anymore. You can see 3 players in midfield. So the midfield superiority that we were talking about in the first half, where Mohammad Arshaf and his partner Ramon Boasso were getting outnumbered, is now no longer there, because you have 3 midfielders playing behind Sebastian, which is not going to allow Fosa Kochi to have that dominance in midfield.
I'm not sure about that substitution of Salim though, unless he had a niggle from before. But I think the substitution of Alexis Sosa, that was somewhat predictable, because the amount of pressure that was building on Calicut, few mistakes and it might be damage for them. And that is a wonderful ball forward. Prashant has a race with the ball, but Rafiq Ali Sardar was out in time.
So right away you see now Atsal has gone to the left. I think Riaz has gone to left back, and Manoj, who's come in, has gone into midfield. So there's quite a big shuffle there with the 2 substitutions, trying to get a little bit of solidarity out of possession, trying to get a little dominance, more so trying to stop Fosa Kochi from being that dominant in midfield and getting that chances on the Calicut FC goal.
That is a corner given in favour of Calicut. Was the last touch of Prashant there?
Maybe, maybe not. But now it's going to have Prashant and Atsal to be more involved from the wings, because Sebastian is alone up front. They need someone to link up with him, and Prashant needs to do that more in the second half in order to get some chances for Calicut FC.
Boasso to deliver. It is a plan rather. Boasso on the second attempt. A lot of curl on it, a lot of flight on it. It's not quite effective as he would have liked it to be.
That ball was so high, it came down with ice on it. There was no chance that Richard was going to get any sort of header or connection on that ball. It had needed to be whipped closer to the second post for Richard to get on the ball, and we know that Richard is a fox in the box when it comes to set pieces, and he can score that decisive goal for you.
Oh, he is a goal scoring centre back. We have seen him do that for Real Kashmir, and he has done it for Calicut the previous season as well. But how often do you see a coach whose team is leading at half-time straight away at the start of second half make a couple of changes?
You know, it shows that Eva Demalde he's not one to wait for something to happen. He's watched that 45 minutes. He's seen his team go ahead, but then after that lose complete control of the game. And he wasn't having that for the second half. And the 2 changes that he's made, which is Salim coming on for Manoj coming on for Salim, and Pereira coming on for Sosa, is adding a little bit of freshness. But what we see on the pitch right now, can you see Boasa and Manoj playing in front of Mohammad Arshaf, which means there's no space for the Fosa Kochi attackers to get that space in the middle of on the pitch and break lines.
It looks like a well-planned move there. But at the moment, Boasso clears. He's towards Prashant. And more of a clearance there from Mohammad Asif, who somehow found Sebastian Rinken for a moment. This time the touch didn't quite work.
Yeah, but this is where now Calicut FC have taken a back step. Sebastian all on his own up front. If he cannot hold that ball up front, you know, it's going to be very difficult for Calicut FC to create any chances. Prashant, Atsal, Boasa and Manoj have to come in support for Sebastian when he receives that ball. So that's the change. That's what a change in formation does for you. Whereas Fosa Kochi, you see now, they're not going to have that much space. It's going to be a lot of 1v1s, a lot of players covering.
Oh, that might be a chance out there. Right in time, Hajmal this time leaving his line.
A lucky deflection there for Shiraj. A lucky deflection. Maybe that's something what they need to get into this game. You know, something lucky falling in into the striker's foot one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but even then, Ajmal was much more composed that time.
It was a good little exchange between Gifty and Ajin in the midfield. The confirmation of the other change, Jonathan Joel Pereira came on in place of Alexis Sosa.
You know, I'm looking at Fosa Kochi's bench. They have one player sitting on that bench that screams goals. He's a player who scored goals all throughout his career. I'm talking about Gino van Kessel, the Dutch guy who's played for Curaçao, who's represented Curaçao. If he comes on, you know, he can create a lot of problems because he's someone who scores goals. He's someone who creates and causes a lot of problems for the opposition whenever he's on the pitch. So I think he should be brought on somewhere around the 60th minute when the coach decides, okay, we've had enough of the second half and we need another impetus going forward.
But if I and we all remember correct, Floyd, last year your predictions were going on point and you were predicting, or rather rooting, for this man on the bench to come on and score. And I'm hoping that Mikel Yano has heard it from you.
Look, every game so far between Calicut FC and Fosa Kochi FC have had minimum 2 goals in it. Either a draw or a couple of wins for Calicut FC, but minimum 2 goals in the game. So if everything goes as planned, there should be another goal in this game. A goal for Calicut FC would kill the game, but a goal for Fosa Kochi would throw this game wide open.
Taking a bit of a risk out there. The man who just came on the pitch a while ago. Given away possession for Kochi. The attacks have certainly gone a bit blunt in the second half. Trying to turn around was Ramon Riego. Earns a free kick.
You know, Pereira has gone into midfield, and that's pushed Mohammad Arshaf in an 8 position, and I don't think that suits him. You know, this is him trying to press the ball right now, and this kind of a role doesn't suit him. So it's kind of having two, which will coach if I'm playing, but I don't think it's going to help them create any chances.
And that is a lovely Atsal. He's found Prashant. Oh, beautiful trick out there. Doesn't come off well. Given away possession. But we were talking about the tweak in formation, and at the same time it is Riaz who has moved back to that full-back position. And now Ramon Viega. A lot of space in front of him, but a quick block from Richard Osei. A quick restart from the free kick. Struggling a bit at the moment. That might be a headache for the head coach. Rich on. Trying to switch play. In comes Mohammad Asif. Time and again he's proven to be a strong addition to this Calicut side's defense.
That's not a good sign. Mohammad Riaz, I think, has gone down off the ball. Calicut FC would be keen to keep him on the pitch for as long as possible, because he's someone who not only defends well but also contributes in attack. We have another player down for Fosa Kochi as well. That looks like Mohammad Mushraf, who was on the bad end of a sliding tackle there.
It was Asif sliding in out there on the far side. But is there a change getting ready? We'll find out very, very soon. I can see Mikel Yano having a word on the touchline as well with one of his weapons on the bench. And is this perhaps the right moment to bring it on?
I see a bit of movement on the bench where Rindrethan Sheza is getting ready, and Sangeet, number 18 as well. This would be a really, really good substitution in Sangeet, because he's one of the young players on the team that has come out of the scouting program from the Super League Kerala, and him on the pitch would give a huge boost for those players, trying to establish themselves in Super League Kerala. Project Game Changer is the initiative that has been started by Super League Kerala, and 3 players from that project have got contracts into Super League Kerala teams. One of them being Sangeet, number 18. He looks like he's going to come on. If he does, that'll be a game changer for the project, but will it be a game changer for Fosa Kochi FC?
Dive deep into the research, Floyd. But of course he'll want to impress as well, coming on, making a debut at the big stage. And there's the 2 players you were talking about, 18 and 28. The board says Sangeet Satish and Rinrethan Shaiza, one man from Manipur, one a Kerala local.
So it's like for like, Gifty Gracious out and Shaiza coming in that position. Shaiza is a very tidy midfielder, like for like, is comfortable on the ball, is able to play a good pass forward, and Sangeet has come like for Ajin. So can he add a little bit of dynamic movement on that right hand side?
There's the confirmation of the change. Ajin has been taken off. Sangeet comes on. Calicut would want to keep their focus.
We've seen 2 changes. One, Calicut FC has gone from a 4-4-2 to a 4-3-3, and now Fosa Kochi has gone from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-4-2. You have another player up front now with Douglas, trying to create a lot of issues for that Calicut back 4.
And that will just be a goal kick. That Gifty Gracious couldn't prove a point tonight, but it will be a long season.
Prashant has been a menace down that right wing. He's not created much out of it, but he's made sure that both the defenders on that side have stayed honest throughout the game so far. And that's what he gives you. And with the likes of maybe, Aniket Jadhav on the bench, maybe he could come on, add a little bit of pace on that side, give a little different bit of a problem for the players of Fosa Kochi on that left wing.
He's still struggling. It doesn't look like he can continue. It is Mohammad Riaz. He went off the pitch a while ago for some treatment. He's back on the pitch after treatment, but doesn't look like he can carry on. So might be a change needed here for Calicut. And the only option they have defensively on the bench left is Jagannath. He was a part of the last season of the Super League Kerala as well.
And Jagannath is an ex-Fosa Kochi player and a very steady player at left back. So he would be a like-for-like replacement. Here you see how Mohammad Riaz going up for that ball, but as soon as he lands that left ankle, you could see he's not comfortable at all placing that ankle onto the floor, and that shows that he's not able to continue.
Well, but if not for Jagannath, do you think that Calicut FC will think to bring on an attacking option, maybe try Aniket Jadhav or maybe Christy Davis as well?
Yeah, Aniket has a lot of pace, but he's more of a player to play on the wing. So as we see Jagannath, 44, a nice, strong, well-built guy. He was very steady for Fosa Kochi last season, and he was one of the reasons why they finished second and reached the final as well. So he's now playing for Calicut FC, the champions, and I feel it's going to be an advantage for Calicut having Jagannath there, because he's more of a defender than Mohammad Riaz. So he'll add a little bit of stability in that back 4. At this moment of time, with Fosa Kochi gone with 2 strikers up front, they'll need Jagannath to just tuck in there and help the back 4 to kind of, not allow any passes through or not allow any overloads in that area.
Yeah, another of those under 23s in the lot, Jagannath. He's played quite a few games for Fosa Kochi last year. So a good few former Fosa Kochi players, 2 to be precise, on the pitch playing for Calicut FC. It is Hajmal on goal, and now Jagannath has come on from the bench. 3 changes already made by Calicut FC. The clock ticking around 60 minutes. 1 hour played, 1-0 in favour of Calicut. The scoreline looks good, but the inside story might say that there's a different picture to be painted.
Yeah, and for the viewers that aren't aware, there have to be 2 under-23 players on the pitch at every point of time. So which gives a chance for these young players to come and showcase themselves, rub shoulders with the experienced players, get minutes under their belt and improve.
Here comes Sriraj. He's trying to glide through the defenders. Nijo Gilbert with a quick throw. And now Mushraf. They're all sitting deep. Calicut always allowing Forza Kochi to invade in their territory, who are now under pressure. Counter-attacking football is what they've planned on day one, is what we can see.
Yeah, you can see Mohammad Riaz there getting his ankle, treated by the physio. They'll hope, that it doesn't keep him out for too long. It's maybe just a twist, just a niggle, where he can maybe skip a few days of training and be ready for the upcoming games. And it's never too positive for a player like Mohammad Riaz or someone from that team to get injured so early in the tournament. But and he's such an important player for them. Last season he had 3 goals. He had a lot of interceptions for them. This game as well, he was the one who created that penalty for the goal for Sebastian. So they are going to miss him. He's a very good squad player. He's a very good player who can play in multiple positions. So that injury will definitely affect him and give the coach a problem to find out who's going to replace him in that starting 11.
They'll hope it's not a long-term injury. Mohammad Riaz has been impressive. The long ball forward. And you could see some drama which could have turned costly from Richard Osei. Was taking it casual for a moment.
He shouldn't be doing that. Richard shouldn't be doing that. That could have ended really, really bad for him if Sangeet had got onto that ball. The player from the Game Changer project, number 18, Sangeet, almost got there after Richard kind of decided to do a karaoke, escorting that ball out of the pitch.
Needs to be more sensible. It is still just 1-0. And Forza Kochi enjoying majority of possession, even though no corners or attacking threats in the second half so far. But it takes a moment to change things.
At the moment, the changes that the Calicut FC coach has made doesn't enable them to create anything. There are a lot of players that are working hard. There are a lot of players that are disrupting play of Forza Kochi. There are a lot of players that are covering up for each other like this. But there are not many players on the pitch that can create something for Calicut FC. So what I think the coach is hoping for is that they can hold this 1 lead for as long as possible and then maybe defend the last 10 minutes for their lives and secure those 3 points.
Can they pull the goal back though? Forza Kochi is the question. Some infringement in the box before he takes the free kick, the corner kick rather. Nijo Gilbert set for another set piece. Nijo Gilbert floats it towards the far side, this time punched out by Hajmal, and Shaiza make sure his team has possession again from the right. The substitute, the new man on the pitch, trying to make impact. Nijo has options. Nijo, a slice on it, a header from Douglas Starden, nearly in, but inches away from target.
There's a change made in the centre-back pairing there with Richard, with Sosa going out and Pereira coming in midfield. I think there's Richard and Manoj playing in the middle there, and Douglas is just started to get a little bit of freedom in between those centre-backs. It makes a big difference when you make a change to that centre-back pairing of yours. And it looks like Richard and Manoj are not on the same page. And imagine someone like a Gino Van Kessel coming in and adding to Douglas in that attacking third. It could create a lot of problems for that back four. A back four which has been rejigged. Not just one centre-back that has been changed, but Mohammad Salim has gone out, Riaz coming in at left back, then Riaz getting injured, and another player coming in there. There's been a lot of changes for that back four of Calicut FC.
Rightly so, that might be an issue for them. And this time the free kick has gone in favour of Calicut. But the clock is ticking. At the same time, Forza Kochi have to keep in mind that all they're doing is creating, but not converting. Clearance there from Richon Jos. Is it time that Forza Kochi think of changes? It might be late if they delay it.
It's 65 minutes, Vaswar. It's 65 minutes. It's about time they get this guy, Gino Van Kessel, on the pitch, because he's someone who knows to find the back of the net. And it looks like he's getting closer and closer to that half, that touchline there.
Trying to switch direction. Nijo Gilbert moving around, coming to the central areas more often, and that's where he looks more dangerous. Oh, that is a nice little pass from Sangeet to the right, but Ramon Riego could not find the cross. And the man you were talking about since a while now, Gino Van Kessel, is looking ready to come on in a while. And now inside the box, Tardin. Will he be the one sacrificed? Cleared away by Richard Osei.
I'd be a little bit attacking minded. I would keep Douglas up. I would get Gino Van Kessel to play alongside him. Maybe get Ramon Garcia, maybe get Rashid and Atmane out. And take a risk. Put two strikers up against that centre-back pairing that doesn't look a bit comfortable, that doesn't look coordinated. Put more pressure on that back four by having two foreign strikers up front.
Yeah, that'll be the better plan, maybe, to pair up Douglas Tardin and Gino Van Kessel. Let's wait and find out what Mikel Yado has in mind. But here at the moment is Rashid. They're looping it forward. It's still with Forza Kochi. They're trying to create something, but it's straight at the hands of Hajmal S, who they know pretty well, because he was a part of Forza Kochi last year.
It looks like Hajmal has recovered from that first half loss of concentration where he came in and punched thin air. So he's got back to basics maybe, and he's looked much more reassured under the post.
Opening day blues, would you say? But there's another player down for Calicut. That's not a great sight. And Forza Kochi are having things go in their favour. He's kept it in play. Mushraf adjusts somewhat, and now Rashid looking for the exchange. Under pressure, Ramon. Richard Osei needs to be careful at times.
Forza Kochi doing the right thing. It's not up to them to put the ball out. They can keep possession of the ball as much as they want. Sangeet has made a really good start. He's looked a really busy player. He's looked a player that's tidy on the ball. He's all over the place at the moment, and it's difficult for Calicut FC to kind of keep a track on him. He passes the ball, he moves into good spaces. So far that's a good impact by Forza Kochi. But at the moment they aren't being able to penetrate that central defensive block of Calicut FC. And that's where you need someone of the experience of Gino Van Kessel coming in.
You mentioned Sangeet Satish a while ago. A couple of clever through passes is what we have seen from him. I think that is a result of good scouting, and that is why you need to emphasize on scouting in Indian football. The more of it, the more better outcome we have.
Exactly. And out of 2,500 plus players, 3 players have secured contracts. That would be a big boost to the other players in Kerala, in the state. Giving them an opportunity to say that if I can be part of Project Game Changer, there's a possibility that I can start my career in the SLK.
And all thanks to the Super League Kerala for such an opportunity for the young players of the state. The main motive behind this tournament, of course, to boost local talents, promote them. 100 is the number of the players from the state itself. And a couple of changes there. The man you mentioned is finally coming on. It is Gino Van Kessel. Time for him to showcase what he's got in his locker. And he'll be replacing the centre back.
That's more than positive from the Fossa Kochi coach. You know, changing the centre back with a striker, and that's what you need. That tells the team, come on, let's go for it. Because every time Calicut FC get the ball, they're struggling to create chances. And when you struggle to create chances, you can take a bit of a risk at the back. You know, take a bit of a risk. You know, get out of your foreign centre back, play a couple of Indian centre backs, and hope that they can keep Sebastian out.
He's been the Copa Amsterdam top scorer in 2012, Gino Van Kessel. And as you mentioned, he's been shining lately as well. Confirmation of the changes, one for Calicut as well. Atsal was trying to breach the defense line again.
Is it my eyes, or am I seeing Gino Van Kessel at right back? After all that build-up, after all that history of scoring goals, I see him play at right back.
Maybe he just came on the pitch and had to track back for that one from Mohammad Atsal.
That's one place I wouldn't want Gino Van Kessel to be.
But has there been another change as well? We'll have the confirmation soon. Darden with the layoff. Quick little exchange. Very heavy touch. Trying to be quick in the moment. Sangeet. Or maybe he's playing on the right flank rather.
I think Fossa Kochi have taken a bit of a risk by playing Van Kessel and Sangeet a little bit high up on that side. So it's a little bit lopsided, which gives you just three players at the back. And he's gone for it. He's gone for it. Credit to the coach. He's gone for it. He's gone for an attacking player, taken a foreign centre back off, and he's got a little rejigged, lopsided back three, hoping that the combination of Van Kessel and Sangeet on the right can unlock this Calicut FC defence.
There was Shaiza to Sangeet. The switch doesn't come off well. Calicut would now want to see this off from here. Asif has found a new home at the right back position.
Yeah, but this is exactly the problem that Calicut FC have right now. They're looking up, but they can't find anybody. They can't find an out ball. They can't get into the half of Fossa Kochi, and they cannot keep that ball there. If this happens for too long, it's going to be, more frustrating for them. And hopefully that frustration, you can see Sebastian, gesturing to his teammates, just keep the ball. I need the ball at my feet. Why are you kicking the ball over me? Why are you making me run? And they need to be a little bit more patient.
Another change. Atsal is being sacrificed. It is Arun Kumar who comes on the pitch finally. That change was prepared a while ago, but eventually made.
Yeah, it's a like-for-like change. Fresher legs there on the left side. Like I said, Fossa Kochi have taken a risk on that right wing by putting Van Kessel and Sangeet there. So Calicut FC has reacted to that and getting a fresher pair of legs in Arun Kumar on that right wing, left wing.
So the plan is for Gino Van Kessel to either cut back inside and score a goal, or maybe supply for Douglas Starden. But whatever the plan, they need to be quick. We are entering the final quarter of the game.
You can clearly see right now there are three players at the back for Fossa Kochi, taking a risk, putting an extra attacking player on. It's a very interesting game between both these coaches right now. The first change was made by Calicut FC, changing from a 4-4-2 to a 4-3-3. And then after that, the Fossa Kochi coach, he reacted to that by putting an extra player up front. And then with those injuries for Calicut FC, now he's taken a risk by putting Van Kessel up front, and Calicut FC coach has reacted by putting Arun Kumar. So each coach trying to get the better of the other.
It's come back from an offside position. Sebastian Rinken has been very silent in the second half, hasn't got any such supply. The possession stats would be very, very interesting.
Sorry.
15 more minutes of regulation time. Forza Kochi trailing by a goal to nil. Still,
They just aren't able to find that creative spark. At the moment, I don't think they've been able to get the ball up to Gino Van Kessel. Now, if he's not able to get the ball on the right flank, I think he should move a little bit more closer to Douglas. Maybe keep Sangeet on that right flank, which he can bomb up and down. Try to get the ball more into feet.
Douglas instead has dropped very, very deep at times to try and get control. Here's Nijo. Find some support, a little chip forward. Is that the moment they've been waiting for? But before that, Jagannath just clears it to safety.
That's the overload that you have on the right wing. And Jagannath, who's come in, did the right thing by just putting the ball out of play, as opposed to making a silly mistake in his own box and handing Forza Kochi a good chance.
The left foot deliveries from Nijo have been more dangerous. And Nijo Gilbert delivers again. Hajmal in the second half has been a different player. Found back old form and punches it out of danger.
Mohammad Ashraf in the meantime has picked up a yellow card for delaying the start of play. You're right, Vaswar. Hajmal has looked much better. He's looked much more sure on crosses. He's punched well. He's kept the ball without giving the Forza Kochi any opportunity on second balls.
But even Asif is struggling at the moment. Well, they are really not having a great time in terms of having fitness on the pitch, in terms of course, injuries, and that is a concern.
Yeah, it's normal for the first game of a season. And no matter how good a pre-season you have, that first 90 minutes always gives that body a shock. And its players at this point of time, after 75th minute, 80th minute, start getting cramped up. It's not an injury. It's just that their bodies are not used to playing 90 minutes. And the first 90 minutes kind of gives you that shock. But these guys will get better over the season.
But will that shock be effective? A little chip forward. It is with Puaso. And now Nahuel looking for the dink over towards Muhammad Arshab, who is more known for his defensive qualities in midfield. On the counter, can Forza Kochi create something? Not with a pass like that.
Yeah, but I've never seen Mohammad Ashraf so high up the pitch on the entire SLK Season 1. Sebastian has now gone down. Maybe with a touch of cramp as well.
It is a new season, new flavor, and we are yet to discover new things and grand things, or you can say super moments in the Super League. The away fans still are vocal. They believe their side can fight back from here. At least the way they have played, they'll induce hope.
You know, Calicut FC have Aniket Jadhav on the bench, and he's someone who has pace. He's someone who will cause a lot of problems to the Forza Kochi back four. He's someone who can play alone up front with his youthfulness and with his enthusiasm, and he can definitely create a lot of issues that Sebastian right now is not doing, because Sebastian is a player who needs the ball at his feet, and maybe for the last 10 minutes he could use someone like an Aniket Jadhav. You know, Coach Ever can get him on the pitch, just stretch the game a little bit, keep the ball in the Forza Kochi half, and you know, put a little bit more pressure and take the pressure off his defense.
I have a feel that Calicut FC might change a gear, which you were talking about in the first quarter of the game. They might eventually do it in the final quarter. It is 1-0, and they will try to make it 2 before it's too late. Richard Osei, not the best of defensive headers. He's looked so calm there, Puaso, in the midfield. Does things as if he's never under pressure. And that's some bit of risk taken at the back. Somehow managed.
He's trying, Sebastian. You can't fault him for not trying. but you know, it's been 80 minutes in a humid Calicut weather, and I think he's run his game so far. There needs to be a little bit of change up front, maybe a little bit of freshness for the Calicut FC. And at the moment, I don't think Gino Van Kessel has got a touch on the ball. He's been isolated on that right wing and not been able to get on the ball, and as we speak, he does.
Now he might get another Gino Van Kessel down the right channel before he could do anything. There was covering from Jagannath. One thing for sure, Floyd, it has never been easy for foreigners to come in and settle in Indian football, as one would imagine looking at pen and paper and seeing the profile.
And especially it's getting acclimatized to the weather, acclimatized to the physicality of the game here, acclimatized to the technicality of the game here. So at the moment he's in the box. If there's a cross in, it's going to create problems.
I think he's mistimed that challenge. It is a free kick gifted in a very promising area for Forza Kochi. That little acceleration from Ramon did the trick.
Ramon's looked very tidy on the ball. He's looked like someone who has taken the onus on the game in the second half, has been able to take players on, creating a lot of chances for Forza Kochi FC, penetrating runs into the box. He's looked good for me. I'm one of those foreigners in this Forza Kochi side that has impressed me today.
It is a chance nonetheless for Forza Kochi to get back in the game. Nijo Gilbert, would he look for a spectacular? He has options. 5 of them waiting in the box. And Nijo Gilbert with his left towards the far side. It was towards goal. And that important touch with a fingertip from Ajmal saves his former side from scoring against his current side.
I was just going to say before the free kick, it looks like a position where we would like to go directly at goal. And he did that. Ajmal, to his credit, backtracked, backstepped and kind of got a good fist on it to get a corner kick from an on-rushing Forza Kochi defender at the back.
This time a different taker, Rashid. And you can hear the silence. They're under pressure. Calicut might be the moment. But Douglas Thadin, without any sort of pressure on him, has blazed it away off target.
Douglas was free to tap that ball in, but I think Gino Van Kessel got in the way. He tried to swivel and he tried to volley that ball in, which kind of took the ball off Douglas's feet. So there were 2 Forza Kochi players there trying to get in each other's way, which caused an issue for them. That could have been a good chance for them to get a goal or at least a shot on target.
Should have left it for Douglas. The angle could have been favourable. But that pass is a bit too heavy from Sebastian Rinken. But you can sense that there is a feeling around in the crowd, in the ground as well, that Forza Kochi might sneak in an equaliser from somewhere.
I'll be very honest with you, Vashwar, because if I see any other team at the moment scoring a goal, it's Forza Kochi. Because Calicut FC are offering nothing up front. They are offering nothing in attack. All they are doing at the moment is defending well, not allowing Forza Kochi to do too much. But Forza Kochi are managing to create those kind of chances and set plays especially. And that's another one for them.
Another opportunity, but I think this is the time where the crowd needs to back the home side. They're falling under pressure and they need to make it difficult for the away side.
Yeah, watch for Douglas, watch for Gino Van Kessel on the second post. If they're going to repeat anything from that first set piece, it's going to be problems for Calicut FC.
It is Rashid to deliver, the captain trying to change things, but the one man who has changed himself in the second half is certainly Ajmal. There's still a chance. He's trying to be the super sub out there. Sangeet Nijo floats it forward. It is Richard Osei with the clearance. Pressure mounting on Calicut FC. Almost free rolls for most of the players out there on the pitch in white.
Ramon Garcia on the ball. He's usually looked at doing something positive for Forza Kochi. Playing a good ball there into Douglas, breaking a line again, but Douglas unable to turn.
He was looking to turn, but too much pressure on him. And Gino, has he earned another corner? Yes, in fact.
But you know, Calicut FC would be really happy because everything that's coming from Fossa Kochi is coming from the wings, which means they have to have a precise cross into the box for anything to hurt Fossa Kochi. All they need to do right now is, which they've done reasonably well in the second half, is defend their set piece.
Is Nijo Gilbert from the left channel. Not effective once more. They say that this is the home of the champions. That's what the entrance to the stadium says. Will they start off with 3 full points? It is also the table toppers and the team in the second position of the table last season. That's how things ended in the group stage. But now they're looking to go up front and get a second. Prashant applying some pressure.
11 corner kicks for Fossa Kochi, Vasu. 11 corner kicks in the game. They haven't been able to take advantage of that.
Strange, isn't it? Would you give credits to the defense of Calicut, or will it be a question mark on the finishing of Fossa Kochi so far?
It's a totally different Calicut FC from last season. In fact, the roles have been reversed. Fossa Kochi, who are the team that used to defend well and then attack on the counter, have now been controlling this game for most part of it. Whereas Calicut FC, who are known for good, free-flowing attacking football, all of a sudden have become very pragmatic. They've had to defend this lead as soon as if they've scored the goal. And it's like roles reversed from last season's final.
Yeah, but if you remember the first fixture last year between these two, it was at Calicut's home, the EMS. It was a 1-1 draw. Ganinigam scoring for Calicut and Sianda Ngubo equalizing for Fossa Kochi. Is there any twist left in this game? 4 minutes of regulation time and some would be added on. Ramon to Douglas Tadin, who is at times dropping the thought of a shot for half a second and then goes with his wide. Sangeet releases Ramon, and Richard Osei, he's at times been dramatic, but he's been ever so solid.
I like this player, Ramon Garcia. He's been everywhere for Fossa Kochi FC. Probably the best player on the pitch for them in terms of creating something in that attacking third.
Oh, that's floated in. Douglas started with the header! And he's turned up the volume of the away fans in Calicut. It is 1-1 at the right time. And the new man we were talking about, Sangeet Satish, what an introduction to the league with an assist. And such a crucial one for Fossa Kochi. Look at that.
The player scouted from Project Game Changer turns out to be the game changer for Fossa Kochi FC. A precise cross for Douglas into the box, and Douglas, all that he had to do was divert that ball into the corner for 1-1. Fossa Kochi absolutely deserve to be in this game, back in this game. They deserve it.
But looks like at the same time it has come at a cost. A cost that maybe Fossa Kochi wouldn't want to be true. Douglas Tadin looked injured after finishing that. He's up on his feet right now, celebrating with the away fans, and you can hear that loud noise of the drums. It is not the home side. It is Fossa Kochi who are looking eye to eye with a point here.
I told you so, Vaswar. If there's one team that looks like scoring next, it's Fossa Kochi FC. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go on and get that second goal as well, because they look like they are in the ascendancy. They look like they have a spring in their step. Calicut FC have no second gear at the moment, and they're going to be just holding on for the rest of the game.
Oh wow. And now you would probably argue that Fossa Kochi in the remaining few minutes can turn up the heat and perhaps get a winner.
But what a substitution there. You know, a word of appreciation for young Sangeet, who's come from that Project Game Changer program. And this is such a good example for all kids who aspire to play at a higher level. He's the one who put in that cross, a beautiful cross that split the entire defense of Calicut FC and laid it on a plate for Douglas. And we know that Douglas can score goals. 14 goals in 17 appearances for Shillong Lajong FC. All he needed was the service, and Sangeet put it on a plate for him. And he made no mistake heading that ball into the back of the net.
And now you can see Ayazo Lewis ready to come on. We'll have a look at that chip forward again from Sangeet Satish that is as beautiful as Sangeet, which in turn turns into music.
Such a beautiful chip, such a precise finish. Make no mistake, that's not an easy skill to do by Douglas, to divert that ball into that corner and beat the goalkeeper. And we've also, look at the elation on the bench from Mikilada there. They deserve it. They deserve it. They've gone for the game right from the second half going. They've put players on in attacking positions. They've taken risks. They've created chances. They've got n number of corners for the entire game, and finally they've been rewarded. Finally they've been rewarded, and credit to them.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is trust. Trust and giving the opportunity to the deserving ones can really do magic at times, and that is what has happened for Forza Kochi.
14 goals in 17 games of Shillong Lajong FC. He's got his account opened in the SLK. And we've talked about that miscommunication between the two central defenders ever since Sosa has gone off and Pereira has come on and Manoj has gone into the centre-back position. Richard and him have never looked comfortable together, and that showed because both of them are looking at each other as to who's marking Douglas Luiz, who's marking Douglas, and in the end it was no one.
Yes, and at the same time I believe Manoj is more of a fullback. He's more comfortable at that role. But we have seen him play at the centre-back position as well, but the combination hasn't worked. Prashant turns a free kick for Calicut. 5 minutes, just a reminder, has been added on. Noel Pereira looking to get the exchange. The deflection might help them, and there might still be drama left in the game. Prashant from the right, chips in across. Noel Pereira was there, but it is another substitute. It is a story of the subs, and it is Arun Kumar who has lit up the show here at the EMS. Would you believe it? Heartbreak for Forza Kochi, elation for the home fans again, and things can change in a moment in the game of football, and that's the beauty of the game.
An absolute sucker punch out of nowhere against the run of play. Prashant manages to find some space and puts in a peach of a cross right at the foot of Arun Kumar, and he just places that ball into the back of the net. 2-1 to Calicut FC. Deserved or undeserved, they scored a goal when they needed it the most, and they've done that throughout the season last year as well. It looks like they've got that 3 points. It looks like they've got out of jail with that goal.
That is what we are here for, Floyd. That is what we love to witness. Drama, entertainment, and Super League Kerala promises it all. Season 2, this is the first game, and it has got us covered with everything you would want to see. And, well, there's still some time left. Would you bet your money on another goal in this game?
And credit to Buasa, who got himself, credit to Pereira, the substitute that was brought in. He got himself into the box ahead of Sebastian, and that got the left back out of position, leaving Arun Kumar free. So we said that Sebastian needs support up front, and that was in the form of Pereira.
Now they're under pressure. Forza Kochi might be looking for a second here. What a game we're having. Nijo Gilbert is ready. And a couple of changes being made. Ayazo Lewis, remember, he is the one who is another of those breed of centre-backs who can go up and score goals. He's done it for Aizawl and given them crucial points in a similar situation, at a similar time of the clock running.
If this goes in for Ayazo Lewis, it's like winning the lottery.
Or will it be so? Nijo Gilbert is ready. Tall men in the box. Another dice has been rolled from the bench. What number does it come out with? They just need one more. Nijo's cross doesn't come out to be effective. But here's Chino. He chips it forward again. Might be a mistake. And half the stadium thought it went in. It did not. It looped over the bar, and they'll have another corner for Forza Kochi. It's not over yet.
So close there. I think it was Iker, the centre-back. who was really close to getting his head on that ball.
Rashid to deliver. It's not over till it's over. A lot of whip and curl on it. Time is running out, and the man who was a hero a while ago, Sangeet, he delivers again, but this time disappointingly wide.
Well, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sangeet showing a little bit of youthfulness there. When he just had to play a ball into a space, a simple ball, he tried to do something a little bit different, be precise and put that ball right out of play.
What they're wanting the physio to come on. They're just running down the clock, I'm sure. A few more seconds left. The home fans celebrating.
You know, Hajmal is experienced. He knows that even if the physio comes on, the goalkeeper cannot be taken out of play.
But the one who will be taken out of play is the captain, and he will be replaced by one of the players who is not a debutant in Indian football, but a debutant for Calicut FC in Super League Kerala. But is there time for that change? A few seconds wasted. Yes, there is time for that change. Prashant, who provided that crucial assist, the captain doing the job for them, has gone off. And in comes Aniket Chadav. And is that the last kick of the game? Floated long by Hajmal. A few more seconds maybe remaining in this one. And look who has come down to defend. Chinov and Kessel. Douglas Tadin trying to work hard, has got a poke on to Sangeet. And it is a free kick for Forza Kochi. There's still some time in it.
You know, the one thing that the coach has to kind of get through his players is stop giving silly fouls in dangerous places to the opposition. Because at some point of time, you're going to pay for it. And hopefully it's not tonight.
Oh, and look who's come up, Rafiq Ali Sardar. It is just the first match of the season. You can feel the intensity out here. It is right over the brim. Floated forward by Mushraf. And Hajmal, a villain for Forza Kochi, a hero for Calicut FC, who celebrate their first win in their first game at home. And that is how we begin the Super League Kerala Season 2. It is a victory in favour of the defending champions, Calicut FC. Even though narrow, even though clumsy, but they have gone over the finish line in style, with drama, with entertainment, packed for the crowd. And Forza Kochi will have to work harder to